Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about Retatrutide, which is the most powerful metabolic drug ever created. We're going to dive deep into a game changer in the fat loss industry, which is Retatrutide. And for the reason recording this video, I've had a lot of questions about this drug by family and friends wanting to take it. So I figured I would fill them in and deliver some valuable information so they can better themselves. It is a triple agonist drug that is in clinical trials right now, and people are seeing up to 28.7% average body weight loss in recent phase 3 results from the trials. This means for the average 200-pound male taking this drug without changing diet at all, they would lose 57 pounds in under a year. Retatrutide is more powerful than Ozempic, it's more powerful than Tirzepatide, it's more powerful than Mounjaro. So today we're going to break down how it works, the benefits of taking Retatrutide, the dosing of Retatrutide, the side effects, and why it is revolutionizing fat loss and cutting. So now we're going over what is Retatrutide. Retatrutide is a once weekly injection developed by Eli Lilly, same people who developed other weight loss drugs like Tirzepatide. As of 2026, right now, it's still in phase 3 clinical trials, so it's not yet FDA approved. It will be FDA approved this year. It's called the triple agonist because it targets 3 key hormones: GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon. So 3 different receptors there. That's the glucagon is what's the game changer from the other weight loss drugs like Tirzepatide and semaglutide. Semaglutide only targets GLP-1, and Tirzepatide only targets GLP-1 and GIP, and this one adds the 3rd receptor of glucagon. The dual agonists like Tirzepatide will crush your appetite and elevate or regulate your blood sugars, while Retatrutide, this new drug, will add that glucagon receptor, which will ramp up fat burning and energy expenditure even at rest. So you're burning more calories at rest and upgrading your metabolism. Early phase 2 trials showed 24% weight loss in 48 weeks, and the latest phase 3 data from 2025 hit up to 28.7% weight loss, about 71 pounds on average in patients with obesity. So these are from studies and from people who've actually taken it. So it does have insane potential for fat loss and body recomposition. So how does it work and benefits for lifters specifically? So the GLP-1, which is in Retatrutide, one of the receptors, slows digestion, kills your hunger, and boosts satiety, so you eat way less without feeling deprived of food. GIP is what improves your insulin sensitivity and further curbs your appetite. So if you were to eat something negative for your health and wouldn't aid towards your fat loss goals, it will actually increase the nutrients and the way that you process that, so it won't affect you as negatively as it would have if you weren't on this drug. And glucagon kicks into mobilized fat stores, increases your caloric burn, and preserves lean mass during deficits. So people taking semaglutide or Tirzepatide have noticed that they're losing the weight on the scale, but they're not losing body fat. They're not looking leaner because they're becoming a smaller version of themselves rather than becoming a leaner version of themselves. So you will still look as fat, you'll just look smaller because you're losing muscle along with fat. Well, Retatrutide aids in preserving your muscle, your lean body mass, so you're only losing fat, so you look leaner quicker. So the result of taking Retatrutide is massive fat loss while sparing your muscle, perfect for obese individuals and lifters that are in a cut. Trials show improved body composition, reduced liver fat, better blood sugar, and even cardiovascular benefits like lower cholesterol and lower blood pressure. And the recent phase 3 trial called Triumph 4, the 12 milligram dose weekly led to nearly 29% weight loss over 68 weeks, plus huge reductions in pain, and they also had better physical function. This means easier adherence to caloric deficits, which torch your stubborn fat and retain your muscle mass. So you pair this drug with a high protein diet and occasional lifting, you could get shredded and built faster than ever. So this is the dosing guide right here. So now we're going to talk about the dosing. This is based on clinical trial protocols, since it's not yet approved, but this is what's worked for other individuals. Trials typically start low because you could get sides like upset stomach or nausea if you start too high. So for a woman of average size just trying to lose some weight, probably start around 1 milligram. For a male in the same scenario, start around 2 milligrams. I wouldn't start anything higher than 2 milligrams. If you're just looking to lose a little bit of weight, you could start as low as 0.5 milligrams. But anywhere in that ballpark, you should be fine. Then escalate every 4 weeks. So you run 2 milligrams for the first 4 weeks, then you can go up to 4 milligrams, and then 8 milligrams, and then up to 12 milligrams. So anywhere from 6 to 12 would be your maintenance once you titrate up, so you stay to that dose weekly. Retatrutide, you inject under the skin once a week in your arm, in your thigh, or in your stomach, or in your glute. So some protocols can go slower. The highest doses weekly around 9 to 12 milligrams deliver the best results, but titration is key. Rushing causes more side effects. Duration in the trials were 48 to 68 weeks with monitoring your blood work to make sure everything was okay. So the side effects of retatrutide, there aren't many, but there's some that I will mention here. Like other GLP drugs, retatrutide has minimal side effects, and they're mostly GI and dose dependent. So common ones are potential nausea, potential diarrhea, vomiting, or constipation. These are really only seen when taking too high of a dose at first or titrating up too quickly. So for example, you start at 4 milligrams, you could be uneasy and your stomach could hurt. So I would recommend starting slow, staying hydrated, eating small, high-protein meals. And if you do get nausea or upset stomach, just chew on some ginger or something. Should do the trick. And then compared to semaglutide, which is also known as Ozempic or Wegovy, this has more weight loss thanks to the extra glucagon receptor. And then compared to tirzepatide, which is known as Mounjaro or Zepbound, it adds the fat-burning boost for superior results. It's not a steroid. It won't build muscle alone. It's not anabolic at all, actually. It needs diet and training to shine and for you to see good results. Compounded versions are floating around right now. It's going to be approved this year, probably, or early next year, or early 2027. So it'll be probably very expensive by then. I would recommend probably buying it now while you can. And then the drug's ideal for obese or overweight individuals, BMI 27 or higher, especially if they have metabolic issues. And then it's also impactful for lifters, great for deep cuts, and it preserves that muscle mass, like I said. And you can even grow muscle well on it if you use progressive overload and a high-protein diet. So comparing it to semaglutide again, semaglutide at the highest dose weekly, average body fat percent weight loss is 15%. Tirzepatide at the highest dose weekly is 21%, and retatrutide at the highest dose weekly is 28.7%. And then in weights, that would be semaglutide 30 pounds for a 200-pound male, tirzepatide 42 pounds for a 200-pound male, and retatrutide 57 pounds for a 200-pound male, all in the same duration, around 68 weeks. And then, so there you have it, pretty much. That's retatrutide. I believe that it will change the dieting industry and the way people lose fat forever, especially when combined with smart lifting and smart dieting. disclaimer, this is not medical advice. Retatrutide is investigational right now, so do what you will with this information. Yeah, so let me know if you've tried any other similar drugs, planning to cut soon, or planning to experiment with this drug. Yeah, so